Thank you so much. Lovely faces, lovely good morning, beautiful day we have. Good morning, Dr. Ajita. We are so humbled and so honored to see you today.
My privilege.
I'm so happy to have you, and you have guided me all through the program. You have suggested few of the resource person who are good in this particular field. So I'm very, very humbled to have you today, and very, very nice to connect with you, Dr. Ajita. And Dr. Ajita is a program leader, MSc e-learning program, MIT ADT University, Pune. A very warm welcome to you, Dr. Ajita. Over to you, Dr. Neha or Dr. Sunanda, who will be speaking the brief profile of Dr. Ajita.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So I would just like to welcome everyone. So good morning, everyone. So it is my absolute pleasure to welcome each and every one of you to this event. So we are on the 8th day of our program, and your presence here is greatly appreciated, and we are delighted to have you to join us. So I would like to give a warm welcome to Dr. Ajita Deshmukh. Dr. Ajita Deshmukh is a passionate chemistry educator dedicated to making quality chemistry education accessible and fun. She has been awarded at the 25th National AICEAVF for her popular podcast titled Chemistry. Dr. Deshmukh is a popular face of NCERT sessions and HRDC of various universities. She currently works as an assistant professor with the School of Education and Research at MIT ADT University in Pune, India. Dr. Deshmukh is the program leader of MSc e-learning, a unique program that she played a key role in developing. She is also a mentor and a hub coordinator for OER4BW project by University of Nova Gorica in Slovenia. Her area of interest include online education, particularly open education, and her PhD topic focuses on leveraging social media, specifically Facebook in education. I welcome you, ma'am, for today's session, and we are looking forward to have a wonderful session with you today. So over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone. Just let me know if I am audible properly.
Yes,
yes, ma'am, you're audible, ma'am.
Okay. So before even we start with the presentation and I start sharing my screen, I would first like to have a chit chat, and I'll start my screen share only once everyone is comfortable. This is specifically because it is a Saturday, and I'm having a long session. It's like I'm going to be there for almost half of the day. That is the entire part that you have today. So even before we start, would anyone like to express something about today's title of the session? Any participant would want to talk about the title, and what do you think about the title? What do you expect from this session?
The sub-theme for the today is pedagogy and course delivery, effective communication, use of multimedia, and interaction strategy to facilitate learning. So this is the title for today's the whole day. We will be talking about this whole day. I mean to say 10-15 half day. Dr. Ajita will be speaking on this particular sub-theme. So anyone would like to say a few words on this particular sub-theme?
What is your understanding? Yes. Yeah. So what do you think all this means?
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, very good morning, ma'am. I am Dr. Tanuji Mukherjee. I think today's session is something very close to the heart of every academician or a faculty. And specifically, each one of us know this fact that in today's times, the attention span of the learners is reducing, day by day. In such moment, we all have been teaching for quite a long period of time. Each one of us are super specialized in their own domain area. But then nowadays the shift has drastically been towards the learner-centric approach.
Yes.
We all can be expertise in our own fields, but ultimately whatever we are delivering and the topic on which you will be deliberating today, that is the pedagogy, and how we can really work upon our pedagogy, and what Sanjana ma'am was right now talking about, the different multimedia approaches, and all the digital platforms and tools. But to be very honest, ma'am, all of them turn out to be extremely ineffective if we are not able to deliver, and if the learners at the end of the day, they are not happy and satisfied. If we are giving a lecture of 1 hour, at the end of the day, whatever was our outcome, so we should have a very good tangible outcome, in the sense that whatever we delivered today, the students should be really able to show it, work upon it. So in that sense, each one of us can have a different teaching pedagogy. So
Yes.
therefore, but then what all we are introducing new, what all things are really capturing the audience's attention, and how we can make our classes much more simpler, understandable,
Okay.
and engaging. So on that note, and that is, the buzzword today. So I am very super excited to listen to you. What all ways we can really make our class, 100% worthwhile experience for the learners, and ensure that we really follow that whatever we are delivering, the students are able to grasp it and really implement it in their future. So that's all, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Mukherjee. That was very nice of you and very kind of you. But I'm just an educator like all of you, and I'm still learning. So I'm going to be learning quite a few things from you all as well. So that's how today's session would go. And you have said one thing very, I would say, wonderful, that you want to see it being simple. And that is what actually is, because there are so much of jargon that we have. And then, educators are thinking that exactly what all things am I going to use? And maybe even I am going to throw some jargon at you all. So if any time you feel that there is a jargon, please feel free to stop me then and there itself, and then ask, or just feel free to interact.
Dr.
So
Tina, I must say that the beauty of this particular platform is that we all are learning from each other.
yes,
Not
absolutely.
like that when the resource person is saying only those things we are learning. Even resource person, they are
Yes.
calling me and they are saying that your participants are so good. And I have also learned so many things from them. So this platform is meant for that we learn from each other and enhance our knowledge as far as teaching and learning is concerned. Over to you.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you. And that's actually how the refresher course also should be. In fact, I was just wondering whether are people bored with the presentations, with the slides and all that. So there will be times when I'll actually stop the presentation and we can have a discussion. Is there anyone else who wants to say something, or should I at least have something in front, like then it becomes easier for all of us to just be in the moment and have a follow.
Quickly, anyone wants to say something? Brijesh, you are there. Dr. Brijesh, you want to say quickly in 1-2 lines? Can you sum up?
Like if you want to tell me what are your expectations, already Dr. Mukherjee has shared. So anything additional to what she had said? Yes.
Hello, ma'am. Very good morning.
Yeah, good
my
morning.
name is Brajesh. I'm being
Yes.
part of MIT University as a PhD scholar.
Oh,
Trust me,
okay.
ma'am, from the bottom of my heart, if I would say in next few days, this course, refresher course, is going to change my life. Frankly speaking to you, Sanjana ma'am also would like to be happy in the when I'm going to meet with these people in next few days, because why I'm telling in last 7 to 8 days, there are minor things are very important in our day-to-day life. Being a teacher, being a scholar, and being a administrative officer also, when we are going to teach our sub teams and our students, definitely few tools are there which really highly effective to nurture their professional career. Even though for the students career wise, I would say same thing. And even being a teacher ourselves, definitely small things. Or now today's topic is excellent topic which you are going to deliver, and multimedia and personal traits are there. If we have the innate desire to improve, groom ourselves, definitely this topic will help much more effective in future as well for the each and everyone. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Dr.
Thank
Bridget.
you, Dr.
Thank you.
Savita also.
And quick,
Uh,
MK Dev, Dr. MK Dev, you would like to say something quickly in 2 lines? Dr. Dev, are you there?
Yeah, ma'am. Am
Please
I
quickly.
audible?
Line.
yes, you're on.
So, ma'am, as a whole, I can say that I have learned a lot of new things from these refresher course. And earlier also, I have attended in one FDP. But it was like 50% of the things I have learned, but I think the 50% I can take from this refresher course. I'm confident.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Savita, you would like to say a few words, or we will switch then to Dr. Ajita. Dr. Savita, good morning. You want to say a few words?
Very good morning, Sanjana ma'am, and good morning, Ajita ma'am, and everyone. It's actually a very, good opportunity to have this session and to, learn from ma'am's insight. We have been hearing ma'am quite a lot in terms of her expertise in this
No.
particular digital domain.
Okay.
And definitely, ma'am, we are very excited to listen to you.
I am
Thank you
more
so much.
excited. I would say I'm more scared because none of you are talking about the expectations that you have from this session. So let's go and let's see if the session, if I meet
Ma'am,
up to
I
your
think we are very
expectations.
sure that we are going to gain a lot of insights from, what all you have gathered in terms of your experience. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So this is today's theme, and this is actually the topic of today. So we are going to constantly talk about this. As per the program schedule that was given, there is a very clear-cut demarcation of question answer session, discussion session. I would just ask Dr. Sanjana and request her if it's okay if we mix and merge them, because whenever they have doubts,
Yes,
they can ask.
absolutely, Dr. Ajita, because this is mix things that are going on. So
Okay.
whenever you are suggesting something, and if the participant have any query, they keep writing on the chat box, and then
Yeah.
we'll immediately intervene and we can ask those questions.
All right. So before we go to the next slide, I'm sure people are wondering that what's going to be in the next slide. I'll just tell you a few things. My PhD work is on Facebook. So I have used Facebook and I have used social media. So for education, that is to enhance education, and I'm using social media as a scaffold. That is my primary research area. So what happens is I am using lots of emojis, lots of GIFs, and I'm born and brought up in Mumbai, so I have a lot of Bollywood in my blood. So you might find certain things that are non-conventional in the presentation, and I hope that you enjoy it as well, because it's Saturday, right? It's a weekend. So let's just have a look at that. Okay, so in today's session, this is what I am going to deal with. So I'm just taking you quickly through this. I'm not going to read out because that sounds very redundant. So this is what we have. And before we go ahead, we are going to talk about actually the mechanics. How would you, like what Dr. Mukherjee was saying, that we actually want to see how collaborative learning strategies, how active learning strategies, how do we choose the media, all this on hands, or rather hands-on experience. And we are going to discuss and decide and actually make each other decide how do we do this. So this is something I think each one must be undergoing at some or the other point, where there's so much of media, right? There's so much of multimedia. So have you all undergone something like this? And when you were bothered actually that, and you didn't know what should I use, when should I use it, is this the appropriate place? you can just imagine that I must have used some part of thought process, and some part of time should have gone to select the GIF also.
This is absolutely very nice video, Dr. Ajita. And before starting this particular program, we were also in the same situation. We were also sailing on the same boat, but now we are little upside.
Yeah. So, does anyone have any kind of experience where you didn't know what media to use, or you used a media thinking that, oh my God, this is great, and the students actually gave totally opposite view as to what you have done? Or have you had any experience where there was so many media that you actually did not know what to use and you were scratching your head? So any domain specific example or experience that anyone would like to share? Yeah, you can put yourself in place of Rani Mukherjee there. Okay, there's something in the chat. Same as research study. Yes. But this specifically happens when we are using actually in MOOCs, in online courses, even when we are going to give out what we call as synchronous sessions, or any of the PDF that we are going to use it, because it's going to be only text. It happened, ma'am, when I was about to teach about blog, and many students were already successful bloggers. Yes. Facebook has been very useful at times. Yes, it has. So how was it useful? And what did you do when you found that students were actually successful bloggers? And where were you trying to incorporate blogging into your teaching learning? You can unmute yourself when you speak up. It's collaborative learning. Yes, it is. If anyone wants to just like unmute and speak, then that's fine. Fine with me. Okay.
Dr. Savita is writing, ma'am, it's then collaborative learning.
Yes.
Ma'am, I would like to say ki, if it is about multimedia, while I prepare my PPTs for the classes, so generally I took it from the Microsoft Online mode. There are a lot of resources are available. So those are clippers, and which are available for free license. Copyright issues are not there. So from those Chrome page also, I sometimes take the GIF moments and GIF pictures. So to make the students, keep attentive towards the sessions. Otherwise, they will be just bored with the only lines. That's the thing I do practice.
Okay. So people are talking about collaborative learning. People are talking about engagement or capturing attention of students. You're also talking frequently about a term, multimedia. So do you mean to say that there are multiple medias, or we use media in a mixed way, or we use media in multiple ways?
See, it is looking right in all the ways.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So when we are saying that there's something in the chat for 2 messages, diverted attention and multiple media. Okay. So when we talk about multiple media, that means we can use, or the short form like multimedia. So this is just to clarify that multimedia and mixed media are slightly different things. And as we go ahead, we are going to talk about these things. So let's just take to the next slide and actually see that what are the types of media that we all have been using. One after the other we have been using. Okay. So the first and the very common one is the text. Text as a media. Okay, I can see a few people writing. It's good to write. It's also good to type. You can also take a screenshot once you realize that, okay, that is enough of material. So when we say that text is a media, what do we mean by this? This can be just as a text format, what we call as notes, what we call as a PDF, what we call as textbook. So anything that has primarily the text that has to be read. Okay. Now, when I'm going to when we are discussing this and when I'm going to talk about each and every media, I just want each one to reflect in the minds for 1 or 2 seconds, or probably 1 or 2 minutes rather, because we are going to see the function of each media and how each media is useful so that it will be helpful for us in the choice of media. So when do we actually use a text? Something when, I mean, this is the first time that I'm starting off, but please feel free to unmute yourself and talk. Okay. So the text is something where there is a long, coherent discussion or a long, coherent theoretical piece or a long, coherent concept that we want to read in a continuum, right? And it is going to be something where we are going to read. So when do we give text to the students? That choice has to be learner-centered. So if at all we want our students to develop the skill of reading, annotation, finding out meanings, increasing the vocabulary, maybe having a written communication, then we will use text. Then I will not use a video. So the whole purpose of this session is, because the previous GIF also was trying to predict the same thing, that what happens is, or what has happened, very sorry to say, that it has become a second nature of people to just, start the video and just go on. So, and just record it. It's actually not going to work that way. Okay, so the function of the text and when do we use the text and when should we not use a video is this, that we want the students to develop the skill of reading, to develop the skill of annotation, to develop their vocabulary, and the content is a coherent, longer piece of concept, which can be imagined, which can be understood, which can be comprehended. Then we use a text. Here comes audio. Now, what do you think? When will we use audio? Or when will you use audio over text? So when will you prefer to use an audio over text? Anyone?
When the text is very complicated and students might not go through a long chunk of text, and the theories or content is little not so easy to decipher, at that point audio is important.
Okay. Then my question would be, why not video? But you think over that. Why did you choose audio?
Sometimes we use audio, ma'am, specifically to give a feel of that particular environment. Like, for example, when we are teaching about telling the students about a particular place, isn't it? Or we are talking about a particular topic where people are discussing about that topic, isn't it? Specifically radio, if we take into considerations. Radio is a completely audio medium, but at times, in spite of being an audio medium, it can have a tremendous impact on the people if the audio is in a very conversational, in a very simple, and in a very interesting manner. So sometimes we find that even if we are shooting a documentary also or making a film also, many a times we just capture the audio also to enhance the impact on the people. Specifically, if we keep radio in our mind, it's a complete audio medium. But the docudrama, the documentaries, the jingles which we listen to on the radio, although they are completely audio, but they can be very impactful, very interesting to the ears of the listeners.
Okay, so now you have brought out two important things. One is environment, the feel of the environment, and the other thing that you have said is the engagement. Should we say something that when there is a lot to be imagined on the basis of what you hear, that sense sensory wala sense, when you want to activate that, we will be using audio. There's Akanksha, who is also talking about adding credibility in the form of speech. Yes. So listening to, let us say, Subhash Chandra Bose's voice or Gandhiji's voice or maybe Martin Luther King's voice would bring in that credibility, right? So definitely. But the whole purpose here is, I would, and also what Ravideep had said, okay, is it okay if I just call you all by first names? Because it just becomes easy.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, like she had said right in the beginning, right? Like, it is more about when the text is too long to comprehend. So, is it something like, oh yes, I can listen to it while maybe I am traveling to my college, I'm waiting at the bus stop. So here, what we are actually trying to think is, this medium is effective when we are depending much more upon listening, imagination, and I wonder why no one said this, to learn pronunciations. Okay, do we have language teachers here? Because especially then, audio is very useful, because I might not know how to actually pronounce rendezvous. I may be calling it as something else, the way it is spelled. At such instances, audio is much more effective than the text. So if you see the dictionaries also, the online dictionaries also, they will break up the word to try to tell you how to pronounce it. But for non-native speakers, even that becomes difficult. So whenever you feel that there is a poetic part to it, there is something good imagination to it, we should try using audio, because that sense actually develops interest and brings in intrigue, as we call it. There's something in the chat there. Okay, yes. Originality, validation, authenticity, right? So then when do we go over for a video? If audio is so effective, then when do we go over for a video?
Ma'am, we have quite often listened this thing, seeing is believing, isn't it? So in such kind of situations, I feel, and this is exactly the difference between audio and video. You know, like for example, if I'm giving a speech and I want to tell the people that it's so beautiful to listen to the sounds of the chirpy birds in the morning. So there I can just play the audio, isn't it? But if we really want to add a little more authenticity and credibility, you know, specifically depending from what we are talking about and what is the kind of situation that we are right now delivering on. So in those cases, you know, video plays a very effective role. You know, we can write a text, and that is the difference between the 3 bullet points that you're showcasing right now. We can just shoot a text, or we can just make an audio, you know, play out the audio. But video is something which is the final point when people believe it. You know, many things to check out its validity and authenticity, we want to just watch the video. So I would say, in the age of seeing and believing, video plays, and video is very engaging. That also I must say, you know, nowadays as a public relations tool, as a marketing tool, branding tool, we see most of the brands, they are, you know, reinventing, reshaping their marketing strategies, and they're switching over to the video platform. So that is very interesting and very engaging and believable also. So that's my opinion, ma'am.
Okay. There is a very interesting comment here by Jagrup ji, who says that it brings forth body language of the speaker. I would just suggest that try to remove your speaker or the teacher away from the video. And then why would you use a video? When is a video effective? Okay, because I'm going to even talk about that, why I'm saying that remove of yourself. Brain captures and stores the image faster is what Sunanda says. Then Dr. Saad says video shows the stuff and left no room for imagination or assumption. Yes. So this is the point which I'm going to pick up. Like he says that it's this to show the stuff, what is just an addition to what Tanushree was talking about. That means, are we talking about demonstrations? Are we talking about when seeing becomes more important? So it could be something like very often that we see in daily life. Let's try to just use that here. So our social media feeds are full of do-it-yourself videos, craft, cookery shows, fashion, how to present yourself. So you see that and then you emulate. You may adapt, but then you emulate, because once you see it, you exactly come to know that, oh, this is the way we can do it. Of course, it's a 3-minute clip, it's a 5-minute clip, not an entire demonstration. But yes, you can, it gives you a very clear idea, and very nicely said by Saad that yes, there is nothing left to imagination there. Okay, so just remember that when we are going to use a video, we have to understand that because nothing is going to be left for imagination, if we want to use our students to use their imagination, let's try to keep a video minimum and let's try to bring audio more. So if you're teaching literature, if you're teaching something like that, then the audio would be better. If you want to humanize science, maybe the audio of, let's say, Oppenheimer, or maybe let us say the audio of Einstein would be much better. But if you're going to explain the theory or you want to demonstrate an experiment, then the video would be better, right? So just see, let's just keep on saying and talking about things. Okay, multi-sensory engagement. Okay, because then we are talking about audio and video. I was only specifically talking about the video, you know, the ones that are we see in the format of reels, which may or may not have dialogues with them. You just see that what is being done, like a craft, cut it from here, cut it from there, and then just do it. Yeah, in travel and tourism too, it helps to remember the things. Correct, it does help to remember the things, but I think in 21st century education, we are not so focused on remembering things. But yes, it helps the retention of maybe the major concepts that we are talking about. So definitely. And then here, this is a type of media, of course, and we can't neglect it. We can't override it. We can't be ostriches thinking that no, we shouldn't be using it, because the example that was given, blogging is a Web2 tool. Web2 tool is a format of social media where it is two-way communication. So it is there. So we can ask our students, I have done this many a times. I've asked my students to write a blog of the experience, the journal of their entire course. Comes up as a blog, one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. One, what did you learn in this particular week? So that is the entire part. In fact, we can have a series of blogs as a part of your refresher course. And what was your learning? So it becomes a journal, it becomes a diary entry where, you know, people start blogging and it becomes a permanent record and can be accessed. So that could be another way in which you could use social media. Where else, like someone already had said, so I'm just saying it now. Social media is very useful when you want collaborative learning. So when you want people to interact, when you want to have peer interaction, such places or such types of content, such types of your teaching learning part, where collaboration is important. Neither text is going to work because it's individual, neither audio is going to work because it is individual, neither video is going to work because again, it is an individual paste, but what's going to work is social media. Yes, for networking, of course, but networking is another part. What we are today talking is like using it in the teaching, learning, and the pedagogy part, right? So social media definitely is the thing to be used when you want a lot of peer interaction. There are multiple tools. I do not know whether the tool sessions were there and would be there again, but you can have you don't need to have just a discussion forum or just a WhatsApp group, because WhatsApp group actually becomes very tedious to keep a track of. But you can have something like a Facebook closed group. You can also have a page which is open. See, the difference between a group and a page is essentially public, whereas a group can be kept closed so that no one can find it. Also, what you can do is there's something called as Padlet. If you go on Padlet, then you can ask your students to put things on Padlet and you can use it as an exhibition. Students can then peer review, interact with whatever things they have put up or whatever things you have put up. And that can be a very good source of peer interaction. Other than that, this is the latest, right? So just take a minute and then just think about, oh, how are we even going to use this, or how have we used it? So therefore, the name is like emerging technologies. I don't know what's going to emerge tomorrow and what's going to go out of the scene tomorrow. We never know. Have you all used simulations or AR, VR, augmented reality, virtual reality? I'm taking it as a no, or should I take it as a yes? Yes. Okay. So would you want to share, Sushilji, what and how you have used? We are
Hello.
seeing new names, so I'm just calling out the
Hello.
names. Yes, yes. Please go ahead.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, yes, you are.
Yes, yes. So I have seen the AR for the games. In the games, there are, you have a gun and you have different statues are there. You have to fire on them one by one. If they are approached to your screen, then the game will be stopped.
Okay. Yeah, so
Intelligence is nowadays everybody is talking about chat GPT. So
yes.
people are using chat GPT as far as education is concerned. And of course, with the help of gamification, students are liking this particular term, and they are liking when we are incorporating gamification in our day-to-day teaching. So they are loving this particular thing.
Yeah, they definitely love it because it just puts you inside the environment, I would say. Okay, so I will just try to give you some examples, and then you may realize that, oh yes, I have used this, but I just didn't know that I can say it here. We have used Google AR and VR, each one of us, when 2 years ago during the pandemic, we could bring in the tiger and the elephant right straight into our rooms. People have done this. You might have seen videos where school teachers, primary school teachers actually had used it and projected that, oh, they're sitting with the lion and suddenly in the class, the elephant is suddenly in the class. So the augmented reality and virtual reality works wonders, right from primary to the UG, PG, PhD, everywhere. Virtual education trip, yes. Virtual educational trips again were very popular during the pandemic, and the museums did a wonderful job by making the tours virtual. Also, very often we neglect actually to think about how the schools are using. If we could take a leaf or two from the school education, we have augmented reality and virtual reality embedded in our textbooks, especially of science, of grade 9 and grade 10. So you actually see the working of a motor. You just have to scan it and you see the augmented reality, and it is done by the ministry, that is, it's done by NCERT. So you can actually see that. So can we also have something like that? Definitely. We do have a entire a website for it called as virtual labs. It's called as V Labs. It's developed by the ministry. Those who are teaching science, please go ahead and do that, access it. Also, like you have said rightly about the virtual tours, British Museum has it, Smithsonian has it. I mean, almost all the museums in the world have it.
Even if we go for the driving thing nowadays, because
Yes,
I do remember that when I need to teach my daughter how to drive the car, so I went to the Maruti showroom, and they have a proper system of simulation. They taught her how to do the simulation, how to learn in the simulation environment, and after having 15 days of training on simulation, then she was jumped onto the road. So I
yes.
think the simulation is a very, very useful practice which we can follow in our teaching learning process.
Totally. Brijesh ji is also saying that basic life support, simulation based. Yes, you can actually teach simulation based life support, like how to give artificial respiration, how to pump the chest if someone is suffering from heart attack, right to, let us say, even the augmented reality, virtual reality,
Bag
there
in
are,
mask, ventilation and all, and even we are
yes,
inserting the drugs, IV drugs to patients. Then we are, because we are having the manic wins and practical experience before going to the life experience with the patient. And so we should go with the manic wins, and they really express the same, show the same expressions as the patient shows. And this is the main important thing. Excellent features are there for the simulation based learning, ma'am. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting
no,
in
no,
between.
please go ahead.
And
Yeah.
even for the BLS, CTLS, CTS is this is cardiac life supports.
Mhm.
It is also there. And other ACLS, advanced cardiac life support. In that concern, ma'am, number of drugs we usually provide to patients, and this is a lifetime real experience by the simulation based in the labs, ma'am. Excellent, ma'am. Virtual labs are being created by the Ministry of Communication and all from in each and every medical colleges, and then lots of fund is being given to the medical colleges.
Yes.
So because I'm the part of the medical college, that's why I just know the things on the simulation based and VR and AR. Just little bit I'm knowing. Just I'm trying to learn from you people.
No,
It's
what?
excellent approach, ma'am.
No, you don't have to say that you're still learning. We all are learning. So don't even think of that. Yes, Sunanda ji is also saying that AI in optometry. Yes, absolutely. So these are the things where simulation actually works. So what are we like now trying to talk is, see, video is something where you demonstrate, but a simulation is something where you're getting the feel of it, right? So you are actually kind of operating. You can in the case of botany, zoo, if there are people from the life sciences here, you with the help of the AR, you actually get inside the plant body and search where is the nucleus, where is the nucleolus, where is the mitochondria and all that, and you actually experience it. So let's see what is happening. The video is not, or rather the video is a limited experience. Whereas simulations, AR, VRs, AI, I'll come to AI and games in a bit. These are what? These are experiential things. So why are we talking so much about all of this? Is because when we are introducing media in our daily teaching learning, especially in the online teaching learning process, be it a MOOC or be it just a small online course that we are conducting, there is a lot of thought that has to go behind selecting a particular media, right? So when we talk in the initial part, like when we opened the discussion, the person had said that we are using AR when we are doing games, and the stress was on killing someone. But yeah, along with killing someone, we actually can save someone because we have done so much of practice on it. We can actually benefit by the use of simulation on the car, as Sanjana ma'am was talking, because then we actually get a hang of using the gears and the other things, so that transferring it into the real life becomes easier. So now just see the words. Transferring it into real part becomes easier. So what happened during the pandemic was, unfortunately, but yeah, an eye-opener. What all of us did was we did the practicals, we shot the video, especially for science students, and then we shared the video. Yes, it was a learning, definitely, and I do appreciate the efforts by the teachers, but it was passive, right? So it was only at one level. So I come from chemistry. So, I used to teach organic chemistry, and then I have shifted myself to education technology. So basically a science person coming into this. So what happens is, even if someone asks me that, are you happy with the students who have the skills of the students of chemistry, even something as simple as, titration, is that okay? I would say no. Have the teachers shared the videos? Yes. Have they undergone simulation? Little. So now what happens is, you don't actually have the skill set of your hands-on part, right? So whenever you want more of hands-on, then you need to have simulation, you need to have AR, VR, you need to have all these other things that are there. We had also spoken about hands-on when we were talking about video and social media. Then what is the difference between that hands-on? Okay, so when there is a video which we are going to watch and then we are going to perform something at our own end, that's a different kind of hands-on. But if we want to replicate something like what is the instrumentation, similar instrumentation where we can transfer our skills, then we will have to use AR, we will have to use VR, we will have to use simulation. So this would be the thought behind selection of media. And just see, we haven't used the word image yet. And we often are using images, right? So I think it was Sunanda who said that in the presentation, we take it from the images and ensure that there's no copyright, like no trespassing of copyright issues, and we use it. Now comes our multimedia part. So suppose if I'm going to have a text like a journal that is written where students are going to read something, they're also going to have an image attached to it. Remember our own journals, our own textbooks, where there is a diagram to explain, there is some conceptual part. And then what about the exercise? We used to do the exercise actually in the laboratory or maybe in a field visit. So instead of that, can we just change to the simulation? Can we change to AR, VR? Can we use gamification? Can we use games? Then that would be a different type of media. Okay, so are you all here with me so far? Any thoughts that you have to share? Because we are going to go to the next part where you will be taking decisions.
I would like to share my experience.
Yes,
that
please go ahead.
we actually teach the optometry, which means the eye treatment, eye care management. So we are eye care health professional. And when we teach the students that look, this kind of the power they are going to have because of having some eye power, people might look like this. So it gives them an imagination, but it doesn't give a clear idea what it actually means. So then through this simulation, we give them the experience, like if you are having this kind of the power, so the world would be liking like this. Then their understanding gets very faster. They do understand, okay, now I understand what a person with having a power or any kind of the eye disease they are having. So theory can give them just a rough idea what it seems, but what it actually in real world. For that, we usually use the simulations and AIs to know the in details or in depth, so that when a patient comes to it, they already have an imagination in their mind. Okay, I have seen this kind of the simulations, so this patient might be having. So correlation comes very faster and good diagnosis as well. So
Right.
it's a really a great job for us.
Yeah, so I would just like slightly change the words that we are using. It's not correlation, it is transfer of skill from one
Yeah.
environment to another. So
Yeah.
let's just understand that the simulation or the AR, VR should lead to transfer of skills. Okay, videos may or may not. It depends upon how much you will be replicating, but simulation essentially will allow you to actually work, right? So
Yeah.
there would be some transfer of skills. And also Sanjana ma'am was talking about AI and that is being used now. So definitely AI, like because Sunanda is talking about optometry, I'm just taking it ahead. And there was a comment also that we can have the houses decorated. Same way for optometry also, we select the frames using AI.
we select
It
the
actually
frames.
gives the prediction of what can be
Yeah.
there.
Even like the people who are having like the diabetes or like having a heart pressure, blood pressure, heart problems, AI gives us the clue that what kind of the pathology they might developing behind the health which is not yet been prompted or symptomatic. So those things give us a really a greater understanding of the subjects, knowledge, and as well as I said that quick diagnosis, because some conditions are so fatal that if you couldn't diagnose at early stage, you will lose the thing. So definitely these are the great, technology which has been emerged in the teaching. Like when I studied my bachelor, these things were not there, but my students are getting that opportunity. So it's really a very good thing that
Okay.
these things has come up.
Yeah, thanks. I just one question. What are the disciplines that we have of the participants? Because there's going to be an exercise, that's why.
They are from multidisciplinary, Dr. Ajita.
Oh,
Some are from medical, some are from liberal arts, some are from mass
great.
communication, then
Great,
science, biotechnology. So you will be finding a mixed group. So
Yeah, so
multidisciplinary
that's
participants we have.
going to be more interesting because we are coming up with the models now and of exercises that you will be actually doing now. So because there is so much of media and so much of use of multimedia at the same time, there is always a chance that do we use this and this? Do we use this plus this? Do we use this plus this plus this? And then one of the worst decisions, let's use everything. Which often happens that there's a video of the same content. There is also the text of the same content. There is also something more about it. So what happens is, and also many a times now, this is something that I'm going to talk about a little bit, cognitive load. Just understand. Okay, now let's demonstrate this. I'm just going to go back, right? And I am going to speak, and the words are also going to come at the same time. And I want you all to just take note of how your eyes, ears, and brain are following it up. Okay. So types of media, the first one is the text, the second one is the audio, the third one is the video, the fourth one is social media. Then we have a lot of emerging technology, simulation, AR, VR, serious games, gamification, AI. Okay. Did your eyes move exactly like that? Or did you see, listen, and comprehend all of it at the same time? There is an immediately answer there.
Ma'am, in the types of media, if you say, ma'am, these are the first three content, text, audio, visually, it usually comes the same, in the same manner. And what about that, these social media and emerging technology, these are the new things, just it comes in later on. Yeah,
No, the
okay,
thing
ye bhi
is
hai, ye bhi hai,
actually,
ye bhi hai.
okay, I'll just make it a little bit more clear. When we have a lot of things on the screen, so what happens is the speed with which we read, okay, with our eyes, not listening to it, just reading, is different. The speed with which we hear and understand is different. So now here, it's only one point in one bullet, so it becomes easy. But think of it as a long paragraph and someone talking about the same paragraph, reading aloud with the same paragraph, and you are also seeing the paragraph, okay? Then what happens is, you are going to read it at a different speed, and you're going to listen it at a different speed. So this leads to, okay, my brain gets flustered. What am I supposed to do first? Am I supposed to read and understand, or am I supposed to hear and understand? Okay, and that is actually what leads to cognitive load, that my brain gets tired. And that is why we often say that, oh my God, a PPT where things are being explained, and if you read out a presentation, it is never going to be interesting. It is going to actually be a put off. Why a put off? It's not the fault of the teacher, it's not the fault of the student. It is the whole thing that our brain is going to interpret it at two different speeds, and the brain is going to get tired because it's going at two speeds, right? It's going at this speed, it's going at this speed, then it comes back and then it goes forth. And so there is a cognitive load. Also, there is another problem when I said in the beginning that क्या use करें? Should we use this? Should we use this? Should we use it? Okay, we'll use everything. So what happens is, okay, I'm watching the video. Okay, I'm seeing something. All right, now I'm going to read it. Oh, it was the same thing that I read, right? Oh, then what is this again? So what do I exactly do? That's also boring, monotonous, and therefore all these lead to cognitive load. Also, just imagine, I put this whole thing, the types of media. Okay, now just imagine this. I put it like a flow chart. एक circle बनाती हूँ मैं, types of media, and coming out things, prongs, and all this is also written. This is written, and that diagram is also put, and I'm talking also. Now just think what's going to happen. The participants, as participants, you are going to like diagram देखना है, या ये पढ़ना है, या सुनना है, right? So, do I follow the diagram, or do I listen to her? And what is she actually talking? Which point is she talking? Where is that point in this diagram? Oof, so much of cognitive load, so much the brain gets tired. So let us try to avoid this cognitive load. So when we are having pictures, let's keep text to the minimum. And when we are having text, which we want the students or the participants to read, like I was just putting up one thing at a time, then we were discussing, then we were going ahead. And in the previous part, I had just said that, okay, everything together, I'm going to give you a minute, like the last point, take a minute to read. I'm not reading it out. Okay, so this will help to reduce the cognitive load. Any thoughts still here? Because we often do this because we're tired of, like, क्या करें, कितने decisions लेंगे, so सब दे देते हैं. And then we always tell ourselves that, हाँ, जो visual learners है, it will benefit. If it is video is there, visual learners will benefit. If it is audio is there, auditory learners will benefit. If the people who are good with text, they will benefit with the text. But actually just...
Excess of everything is bad, Dr. Ajita. So we have to find out the solution. Like we have to make our presentation more useful, wherein the text, audio or video should be at appropriate manner. As Tanushree is also writing, too much of text in PPT makes it very complex. Of course, don't need to write so much of content. Like on slide, we have one this text. So this is very, very, I think, perfect thing. This slide is a good example that how we need to write in the PowerPoint presentation, text, audio, video. So explanation we need to do from our own side. So one word, I think that will catch the participants' attention, and then you can explain it slowly and slowly. This is what my understanding is.
And also, like, very true. This balance is also very important when we do MOOCs, when we develop MOOCs, because that is this whole refresher all about. So when we are going to develop a MOOC, can we have one module where we are focusing, like we will be giving certain parts in simulation, certain parts in text. But if it is a conceptual part, we will probably focus more on the text part then. Then we go towards a demonstration. Then we allow them to, have a simulation. So there always has to be a right blend, a right mix of what media are we going to use. Just having a video, then a transcript, and then all the other things. Oh yes, illustrated novels. Yes, absolutely. Illustrated novels come, and illustrated novels are very serious business. Okay, people who used to think that comic books ke jaisa hai illustrated novels, no, they are serious business, because that is one way in which you communicate a lot of things. But that's a choice that you make. Ultimately, it is a choice made by whom? By some person, by a person for whom the audience is somebody who is going to like reading that way. Whereas I'm just going with the pop culture. So we all have grown up on, I think, Richie Rich comics, Asterix comics, Phantom comics, and
Garfield. Chacha Chaudhary comics a lot.
Oh yes, Chacha Chaudhary, yes. So we have all grown up on that. But also we, at the same time, we also have got novels. We also have got Harry Potter without a single image in it. Okay, there is no image. in Harry Potter, the books. And yet they leave so much for imagination, and they're yet such a super duper hit. That also in a generation where we say that bacche to padhte nahi hain. But Harry Potter, I mean, defies what we actually say, right? So it is a decision where, like I said right in the beginning, the text or the audio would be used, especially where we want people to imagine where, yes, Jagrup, yeah, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, ma'am, you are right. Like when we say that as a normal reader or viewer, we have to make a choice, then you have given example of Harry Potter, like multimedia, or you can say diverse kind of storytelling is. Yes, ma'am.
No. There's someone else who had muted,
Okay.
unmuted.
Yes, ma'am. So there is multimedia storytelling concept is being used by especially even movie makers, like they are giving like comics in different form, and same story will be available in the novel form, and audio will be available in the form of audiobook, and video will be available in the form of movie. So this is the choice which is made by individual, but when it comes to the teacher, then it is the choice to be made by the teacher that which kind of media will be best suited for my students, so that they will be having a best idea of the concept, and it will not be a, as you have said, that cognitive load, or you can say problem of plenty.
Yes, problem of plenty. Absolutely. Correct word. Problem of plenty is the perfect term for that. Manga culture has popularized illustration. Oh, yes. My Harry Potter collection has now illustrations on pages, and it's a completely different experience. Yes. So you have Harry Potter as a text. You have the new ones also have illustrations. You have a movie made out of it. You have a theater. You have a play made out of it. So these are the multiple choices that the author made. So we as teachers will have to make exactly like Jagrup Singh Ji said. New generation doesn't have the patience to imagine, and they need some leads. I wouldn't actually make that statement, because if they would not have imagination, see,
Mamta, if you are there, then can you clarify your question once again? Mamta, can you speak?
Yes, ma'am. No,
Yeah.
I just meant that they do not have the time-taking ability like we had while we were reading and imagining Harry Potter. They want everything very quick and accessible.
Because in
That's-
our times, this technology was not there. So nowadays, because of technology, so much of, I would be saying, attraction towards other things. So that is a thing.
Correct. There is very limited time span they give for anything. They are very, very quick in diverting to something else. That's what I meant.
Okay, I will have certain questions now for each one of us. You may not answer me as such, but please answer yourself. Okay, when we say that they don't have the patience to read, or they don't have the patience to imagine, do you think that making reels or making Instagram stories or clicking wonderful pictures, writing wonderful captions, is it not creativity? Doesn't it require patience? It does. Doesn't it require a lot of work? You might have seen people with a lot of paraphernalia actually shooting when you are going as a tourist as well, because they are doing their vlogging, right? So the thing is, the language is different. The language that we spoke was basically text and words. The language that the current generation talks is media, visuals. Okay, so it's not that they don't have patience, they have a lot of patience. But
You think that their interest area has moved from that area to this area, they have shifted?
Yeah, actually, every generation has got this shift. Like, let us just see this. Right in the historical times, when teachers used to say, entire thing was oral, and then the students would listen and then say whatever they have learned. So that was an oral type of learning. And then when written words came in, probably the teachers at that time must have thought that, why you can't remember this much? That means your memory is going to go down. You're going to have books and you will be able to refer to anything and everything whenever you want. So how are you going to even memorize? So your memory is going to deplete. I'm quite sure that the teachers at that time must have said this, because then you were having books. Exactly the way we now say that, oh, anyone can refer to Google anytime. But it's the same with the books, right? You can just pick out a book from the shelf and find out if it is marked properly. It's just that the media has changed. So they have become more of creators using visual communication. We were creators using word or textual communication. So we think that they are not putting in that much of efforts. And maybe it's time that we understand that if we want us to be heard by them, we need to talk their language. Okay, only then we can make them listen to our language. So it's something like that. There are lots of messages in the chat.
I would like to say one thing. Just
there are two things. But Sunanda, 1 minute. There was someone else also who's talking. So just let's know who's.
Yeah.
Okay. So Sunanda first, then Tanushree, you can follow it up. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Just a thing came to my mind. If we think that text or audio or visual, the things we are talking that which can attract the more attention of the student, if we see our way, that was a Shruti, right? There was no text well. They just heard and they remembered. So it's, I think, about no, there should not be any judgmental or assumptions that students might not like the text or audio. It's like how we are connecting with them. If our efficiency is there through the text or even with the audio, we will be connected. So what I think when I prepare the presentation, I keep it very minimal text and more on the talking, so that they can get connect what I am saying. They can understood in both way. And then later on, I give the hand notes or something so that they can read it all about. I believe if I give them the text, they will be busy on reading on the things rather than listening what we are talking about. Yeah. So that's the way we can make this thing effective, learning.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Tanushree?
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, I'm very much curious to know your, feedback on this. I seriously want to discuss on this platform. We were right now talking about creativity. And we were just discussing that in today's times, we see the students and the learners, they are tended to become much more creative. But then what's your take on this? Because after the coming of AI and all these machine generated algorithms, that has seriously affected the creativity level of the learners also. Now, for example, if we want to generate a very engaging and attractive caption or a headline, or if we want to come up with a very engaging and interesting, out of the world content, or draft an article or a report, there are endless number of AI tools and platforms, which the companies also use, which the students also tend out to use. I can use Muckraker, I can use a lot of HubSpot, AI generated platforms, which can just give me a lot of, engaging and attractive headlines, captions, contents. So what's your take on this, that in today's, all these preset algorithms, I feel that the creativity level is also getting affected to a great extent. So what's your expert take on this?
Yeah. Not about expert take, it's about experiential take, I would say.
Yes,
no one is an expert, and you all are experts here in your respective domains. So I kind of knew that this question is going to come the moment I was typing in my presentation that AI, the word, and whether even if I would not have typed it, this question would have come. But I'll just like to share with you something that I have used in this semester, the semester that just closed. I teach ICT skills to BA honor students for the first year. And what he said is actually right, that you can generate any damn text, a good text. But then where is the skill is, we want to enhance their creativity, right? So just जैसे हिंदी में कहते हैं ना, आपस में भिड़ा दो उनको. So भिड़ा कैसे दो? Like tell them, allow them to take it up in the sense like take it on their horns. What? The AI. So I told the students that you are going to do creative writing using generative AI as your partner. So you are going to actually generate a story where AI is going to give you feed, and you have to take that feed, generate a part, again ask it, and it's like brainstorming between two human beings, two classmates. Whenever we are writing a story, we are actually doing brainstorming, we are actually trying to think, we are trying to figure out the plot. So at that time, instead of having this, do it with the AI, see how many times it goes off the track, how many times you have to bring it back on track. Think that, can you write better than it so that it can start writing better? So it's all about how you can actually make them work for this, rather than making them use AI as something where they are just going to consume the content. Let's like हम उनको उकसा देते हैं अगर कि सर थोड़ा AI से काम करवाओ, थोड़ा AI के mistakes ढूंढो. So for the computer programming also, what we do is we tell them to ask them to use generative AI to generate a program, and then make the program better, find out the bugs in what has been generated. So that's how you enhance their critical thinking, you enhance their creativity. So it's just up to us that really I'm going to use a lot of Hindi phrases today. I don't know whether everyone would be okay or not, but थोड़ी मिर्ची उनको भी लगनी चाहिए. जब मिर्ची लगती है ना तो बहुत अच्छा काम करते हैं बच्चे. So yeah, because it's like you remember Gary Kasparov defeating the computer while playing chess. So what was the whole motivation about? It was the same, right? So why not allow our students to defeat the generative AI? Some students, we tell them that, okay, you will now develop a generative AI. How will you teach machines? You develop a model. So depending upon what type of discipline is there, you can use this. And I'm just taking the messages that are there.
Madam?
Just a minute. I just want to give answer to a couple of things that are put up in the notes, in the chat. To one, first, Saad, who is saying that social media has raised the urge to project oneself. Yeah, so I just like to, I'm not defending social media, even though I would like to, but I'm just saying that this projection part is innate to human beings. Before social media also, and of course after social media it just becomes easy. Before social media also, we would want to be projected and seen by kings or by someone who's a patron, and we would like to be talked about and be exemplar in that particular society. So because of the web too, there is a two-way communication that just makes it easier, and it is an innate human quality. So why not harness it for education? Then
can I say one thing?
Yeah, go ahead. Till then, I will also read because the chat was full of messages.
Yes, because Tanushri has asked that creativity question. So I just remembering that, see, chat GPT or artificial intelligence, all these are the valuable tools to spark your ideas and provide the insights. But it should not be seen as a collaborator. Rather, it is a kind of replacement for the human creativity. So ultimately, nurturing your own creativity requires your personal exploration, self-expressions, and willingness to think beyond the boundaries of artificial intelligence generated. So I think creativity is, nobody can replace your own creativity, not even artificial intelligence. So just take it as a collaborator, just take it as a helper. But no artificial intelligence can replace your creativity. No artificial intelligence can replace your innovative ideas. So don't afraid of this tool, which is an artificial intelligence. Rather, take it as a helper and go ahead with your innovative thoughts. Go ahead with your creativity. That's what my mission is. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely true.
Sorry to interrupt. Exactly, Sanjana ma'am has just penned it down in the best manner. I was just going, I don't know, maybe someday, maybe a little bit of the regulatory front I'm speaking of. These AI tools, they turn out to be very effective, in the professional, realm. In the professional stage, they are really very effective for the companies and for the brands, for creating an edge in the market. But I seriously feel what Sanjana ma'am has right now said, when we are talking about learners and the pedagogy, so we all faculty members should definitely encourage to give such kind of work and task to the students where they can be really creative in the real sense, making least use of these technologies and the platforms. Maybe their usage can be made a little bit more restrictive. Those regulatory policy frameworks can be done like that. They are very useful in the corporate world, in the business world. But when we talk about teaching and education, there to enhance creativity, somewhere there can be some kind of restrictions so that we can really give such kind of assignments and work to the students where they can show their real sense creativity without using all these platforms. That can be a way out. Yes.
Yeah, I would just
Madam,
add to what
one more
all.
thing.
Yes, yes.
Sir, madam, and one more thing. More we are using the technology based things like AI and all things. The creativity of man is losing, sir. That's what I am feeling. Because at ancient times, a lot of people with memorization and all that they could able to do miracles. But because more people are studying and more people are learning today, we have to cater to the many people. So we are using the latest technologies. Otherwise, a lyricist who is writing a situational song or a title song, the AI technology or other things cannot give any supplementation to such people, creative people. And another thing is like calculator. After using calculator, we are not able to do simple calculations. Or sometimes like that it is happening day by day. I think after some time the man will lose much of his creativity. Because he didn't try to use whatever he is having after some time, after some decades. That may happen in due course of time.
Yeah.
The-
I hear you. I hear Tanushree what she's saying, but I guess both of you have missed a very important word that Sanjana was using. That is, we are supposed to use AI as a collaborator. So, because okay, my take on the restriction part of it, because I'll first talk about one by one. Let's deal. Restriction doesn't actually work simply because for two things. If we restrict it in the universities, you can't restrict them outside, right? They are going to use it any which ways. So why not we start developing and designing assignments which cannot be so easily replicated? Because what's the whole purpose of using AI? Like you rightly said, it's making the corporate thing super edge. No, actually the thing is, it's making the redundant or rather the chores, something which becomes a routine work, it becomes easy, right? So for that, why do we have to put in human effort? It's as simple as, okay, we say that let's have a vacuum cleaner, right? Because it's just going to ease out our task. Yes, we are going to use the muscle power. We are going to we used to sit down. You're going to lose the flexibility of जो झाड़ू मारते थे and वो करते थे. Vacuum cleaner is going to do it on its own, and we are going to have certain health effects like what Rao sir is talking about. But would you not rather use the vacuum cleaner, or you want to keep the vacuum cleaner away and still do the manual work? I doubt whether we will say that we still want to do the manual work. We will say that no, we just want to use the machine, right? Why?
Right.
Because it's a chore. It's something that is repetitive. It's something that we're supposed to do every single day. And not only you, everyone else is also doing the same thing. But if we try to develop assignments where the assignment that you are solving and the assignment that I am solving has got enough of, let us say, leverage to show my creativity and your creativity, and I'm going to use my AI tool to help me. yes, then that could be a very nice collaborative approach of how we can do. That is what even Ritika has been typing out, and that's like actually summing it up. Memorization, yes, we do have like faster calculations with mental maths. You can't beat that. But at the same time, there we also have to, I mean, we are diverging, but let's just keep it a little bit less. That was also responsible for inducing fear of mathematics for people who couldn't actually do it. But now with the help of, let us say, calculators, at least, you know, that fear that, oh, I will not be able to do it. But that's, I do have an aid that I can do it. I won't get stuck in life if I don't know this. That sort of thing also is there. Lyricists, yes, you can actually ask the generative AI to generate very beautiful lyrics. It does very beautiful lyrics, but it can also go off the track. So you need to be very specific as to what you want it to write, and then figuring it out all together. That's your creativity again. So like what we both, myself and Sanjana ma'am is talking about is, let's use it as a collaborator. No point in shutting it off. Actually, no point in shutting it off, because I'll just tell you from my own experience. When I was doing my research on Facebook, long time back, okay, that time Facebook and all the social media was banned across campuses. I have had doors shut on my face, like we actually do it for the salesmen, right? Because they used to literally tell me that, madam, क्या बात कर रहे हो? हमने तो social media ban करके रखा है, हम हमारे students को कैसे allow करेंगे आपके साथ admit करने के लिए, okay? But all the students were already there on Facebook. So you may restrict the use here, but they are going to use it. So instead of that, why can't we just figure out the ways in which we can authentically allow them to use it? Okay, because the things that we don't allow becomes a cherished fruit. Forbidden fruit is always sweeter.
And anyway, we have to teach them, ma'am, because this is now a major component in a number of
I was just going to
courses.
come to that.
Yes.
That's where the world is moving.
This is the cherry on the cake.
Yes. It's a major component. You won't believe nowadays it's a major part of the syllabus of the courses. So we have to teach them the latest AI tools.
Yeah, we can't teach them on an island. We can't make them stay on an island or in an ivory tower where they will not be able to comprehend what the world is going on.
Definitely.
Okay, so
I must say that this is a cherry on the cake. So we must relish this cherry, and we must let our children also cherish this cake. But simultaneously, of course, all these things matters a lot, which Professor Maheshwar was saying, and Dr. Ajita is also saying, and Dr. Tanushri. So we have to keep all these things in our mind, and also simultaneously we have to accept all these new tools, which are really, really useful.
Okay.
Recently, what happening is, madam, on supplementation. Recently, what happening? Many researchers, even though they are doing hands-on research and getting many points, factual, right? But they are depending on the these things, and they are getting references in the Google, and their situations. They're prone to adapt those situations, even though he is finding a different research details in his experience, in his conditions, but he tried to depend on the existing research results and references, and like that something it is happening in a routine way after using these things, but it is useful, but some creative line should be there.
We have to ensure that the creativity is maintained. We also have to ensure that proper ethical parts are conveyed to the students, and then we should be using it. So now that we have talked so much about media and all of it, there's always this question that, okay, I could hear someone, but yeah, there's always this question that, do we have some models on the basis of which we can actually take decisions? So yeah, I'm just going ahead because we just finished this. There are two basic models that are normally used. There is no one fixed model, and rather these are guidelines. We can't even I mean, they are called as models, both of them given by Tony Bates. There are earlier many others who have given models, but these are the ones that make much more sense in the world of online pedagogy. So I'm using these. You will also find multiple models of media usage only. So the first one that we are going to talk is the action model, actions. So it's the acronym actions. Each alphabet stands for something. And I'm just going to give the entire part and give you a minute so as to know about this. So what we do here is whenever we use a particular media, we try to decipher whether this media is going to be accessible to the student or not. Like, if I'm going to use lots of videos, is my student actually going to, how is my student going to access it? What if my student has got only a very chota phone or doesn't have his own device? How are you going to, like, if the chota phone will not have that much of memory space, then what would you do? Then you would ask the people to either go out or to have extra, what do you say, extra devices. So that's going to have a cost. And the most important thing that we have been talking all the while, right from the time that we started, that is the T, the teaching and learning. What is suitable where? And then because of Web 2, that is because of social media, we can have a lot of interaction. So how will we incorporate interaction amongst peers? So why is this very important is because I'll just ask you, and maybe just we can take a quick poll by raising hands or something like that. For how many of us, our best memories of college or school were the canteen days or the canteen time rather than the class time?
Yes, of course, canteen time. That was the best time.
Canteen time, picnic time, and also classroom के अंदर बैठ के किया हुआ मस्ती. You know, so I think we all must be remembering that first. What we shared with our peers, what we actually did. This is what we would keep on continuously thinking about, right? So that is the interaction. There's a chat message, something. I love food and I was at IHM. Okay. Practical classes more. Yes. Practical classes where you could also eat, right? And you could also make fun of recipes gone wrong. And also still remember, I still remember how the first cake I baked in the socially useful productive work actually was not fit enough to be eaten at all. So, and we used to tease each other. Yeah, mimic faculty voice. Yes. So all this is interaction. That is what makes school or makes college precious memories. And that is what we should actually try to figure out, that while teaching, in terms of MOOC I'm talking, because this refresher is based for MOOCs and online pedagogy. We'll have to actually figure out where is interaction possible. Where can we bring in interaction as a component, as a compulsory component, and then figure out things. So similarly, organizational issues, each one of us is going to have. There is no one who cannot have organizational issues, but are there alternatives? How do we overcome it? How do we try to minimize them? I'll not say how do we try to eliminate them, because elimination 100% is not possible. We can only try to minimize them. As long as something is new, yes, it is exciting. But at the same time, for some people, the newness also can become a burden. So we have to again have that balance. And the speed with which we can adopt. Okay, not we, the students. So this was the actions model that was supposed to guide us for using the media. As slowly as I think some people are entering into the waiting room. Okay, so as the years progressed, now this model was given, I think, in 1995. I may be wrong in a couple of years here and there, but I think it's 1995 by Tony Bates. Then he only enhanced the model. Of course, there were many others who had enhanced this model, but then what he developed was sections model. So let's just see what it is. So it's just a breakup, because 1995 we were talking about media, which was again Web 1, like we were using overhead projectors, transparencies and other stuff. But now with the Web 2 coming in, this was much later, in the 2000s, maybe even later than that. It's about the internet. It's more about, I think people are like just going out of the room and coming in. Yeah. Okay, so if you see this, always the first thing remains is accessibility. Always. Because no matter how beautiful and how coherent and how relevant you develop content, what is the use of it if your students are not going to be able to access it? So the first always will be students' accessibility, ease of use. And see the last one, the S, that speed is now added with security, because now the security concerns are very high. We know how the student data can go out. So as teachers and as educators, whenever we are using, be it social media or be it an LMS, we have to be very careful of the security that we are allowing the students to have. Other than that, if you see, more or less it's same, but this is exactly how we have shifted. There is a very clear shift from content-based to learner centricity. So first actions was content-based. It was more of content important. It was content-centered. And now it becomes student-centered. Pooja ji, do you want to say something? Or it was by mistake that the thing got unmuted? Okay. So based on this, let's try to do one example, and then we'll try to have some time to think about, maybe we can take a 5 minutes break or something like that, and then think about it and then come back to what strategies can be used. So when we're talking about the S, that is the students. So the first important thing is we should know the students. We often talk about need analysis and all, but before that also demographics. So why does demography affect us so much? Demography affects us so much because it depends upon what kind of students you have, like from where they belong to, what would be the gender. Also, this slightly is going to help us to understand what kind of examples, what kind of material, what kind of media do we give, what kind of critical questions can we raise, what kind of awareness can we have. Therefore, demography becomes very important. So please, let's know the students first. Then that accessibility part, right? The students, how are they going to access? Are we going to tell them that, okay, you out of campus, you can access? Do they have it? If not, are we going to support them? And this, the most important thing, the digital skills. We may expect कि ये तो बहुत easy है, ये तो कर लोगे. But maybe not all are able to do that. So are we going to offer support to that? Are we going to prepare a manual kind of a thing where they can easily access it? Also, what kind of digital skill are we expecting them to achieve at the end of this exercise? So if I'm going to have a text as a part of my MOOC, what do I want? What do I want them to achieve? If I'm using my podcast, what do I want them to achieve by listening to the podcast? Am I going to ask them questions literally related to that particular life? I'll just give you an example because someone had mentioned about my podcasts in the chat. My chemistry podcast came because what I felt was the science textbooks does not give justice to the scientists. And more importantly, it does not tell the students the amount of hard work that the scientists have put up. It just lies somewhere as a box somewhere. And most often the teachers skip it, the students skip it, and what they learn is suddenly kabhi to kisi ne to invent kar diya. But they do not understand the human aspect of it. They do not understand that maybe there was a war behind it. Maybe there was something that was forcing them to find it. There were hundreds of chances, lost chances. There were hundreds of failed experiments before they reached this. There were examples and there were times when even they felt depressed, even they felt unfulfilled. They wanted to give up, but they didn't. How did they not? Or maybe there are scientists who literally died poor, like Dunlop. Then do we have something to learn from them? So now, am I going to ask questions based on what was the name of the factory established in the name of Dunlop? Of course, it's Dunlop tires. What is the process called? Anyone will know. It's there in the text. That's vulcanization of rubber. But what would I then ask as an assignment? Because I want that my students or any of my participant of my MOOC would go through the podcast. Then what is going to be my assessment? My assessment would be, if you were Dunlop or if you were Kekule, what would be your take on it? And I'll just tell you this. I have a MOOC called as History of Chemistry. So that had lots of such kind of alternative assessments. And every module had a different type of media focus. So there was one media where we were talking about ancient chemistry, and I did not use a single video. And at the end of the module, that entire week, I asked that, what is the unique feature of this module? Hey, everyone was talking about everything, like, we had a discussion forum in that. And then I said, did you all realize, I mean, what all you things you're saying is all right, but the uniqueness of this module was we did not use a video at all. We only used text and original documents from Internet Archive and Project Gutenberg, original documents, the original manuscripts of the alchemists and the early, like ancient chemists. So they said, oh my God, we didn't even realize that there was no video because there were so many texts and there were so many images and it was full of image plus text and slightly some part was audio, very little. And then as we progressed, there was different type of media that started coming up. So what do I want my students to have this, the achievement? What do I want them to achieve through this? I want them to be able to access Internet Archive. That is what is the skill that I'm looking out for. So we have to have that particular standard. I'm sorry, I'm not reading. There are lots of chat messages, but I'll read them. But let's have this particular thing. So this is going to be a part where we will be taking, let's say, I'm going to keep this here and I'm going to be here, but I would want you all to maybe spend at least a couple of minutes to think about a topic and then identify that along with the content, what things are the skills that you want the students to develop, and then what is the area of the content that you want them to master. So then you map actually what is the use of this media and its relationship with the content and its relationship with the skill. Then we'll discuss here whether this is suitable or something else is suitable. I would request at least 2 to 3 volunteers to come up after 2-3 minutes to discuss about how they will do their choice of topic on the basis of this. Is that fine with everyone? Till that, I mean, we can have water. I can also read what's there in the chat. There are too many messages in the chat, and it's very nice to read these messages. Maybe there was a dream behind that in reference to your chemistry podcast. Dream behind what is what I do not know. Kekule? Yeah, Kekule had a dream.
Kekule, actually, that was I referring to. Yeah.
Yes. Kekule had a dream. But so in my podcast also, and whenever I used to teach chemistry earlier, I used to say that there's a very often quoted joke, which the chemistry students often tell this, that Kekule discovered the structure of benzene, bath breaking, right, in the dream. So to dream, you have to sleep. So we should sleep more so that we can dream more, and then maybe we can become Kekule. So then I always used to tell the students that yes, but for that you also need to be immersed in the subject, like Kekule, कि आप जागते सोते उठते बैठते खाते पीते आपको सिर्फ एक ही चीज दिख रही है. There's nothing else that occupies your mind. You're so completely immersed. So if you're going to learn that, please do that. Then tell me whether you can sleep or not.
Yeah. And then they have to take bath also for Eureka.
Oh, yes. And then they have to come up with the real story also, because Eureka, the story of Eureka is actually slightly, what you can say, misquoted. So they have to go back to the primary resources, bring in really the history and check out whether was that even possible and would it have really happened that way, and then come up with the alternative ending. So alternative ending also gives us the creativity spurt that we are looking out for, as Tanushree and Rao sir was talking about. So once you all are ready with this, just let us know. We just need a very short thing to discuss. Just one topic where you would choose a media. You can choose multiple media and then justify the choice of your media.
Any topic can we check, no?
Yeah, you can choose your topic. We just want to see why is the relationship, how is the relationship of the media choice that you make related with the content and the skill. So earlier, why this is important is because earlier all the education was based on the content. Like we master the content, but along now in the digital world, we are also, the students also need to master the skills that will prepare them for the real world. And therefore, we are talking about both the things. Yeah.
So I have actually completed that.
Okay, someone is talking.
I'm saying I have completed that. So
oh yeah, so please go ahead. Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so the topic which I have chosen is a generic one.
Can you switch on your video?
Sure, but I find it difficult. Is it working or not, ma'am? That's why. Yeah. So the thing is, this one, the topic which I have chosen is field reporting, ma'am. Right? On field reporting, and then the particular things which the skills which I am looking forward to teach here is the fundamentals of reporting. The five, we have fundamentals, very important, 5 Ws and 1 H of reporting. Then the content which I'm going to cover is this one, the how to write a particular report, what is the format of a particular report, and then the essentialities need to be covered in that particular field of reporting, right? And the functions of each media. So I have chosen 2 media. One is print media, another is electronic or audiovisual media. And then the relationship with the content and skill is they are looking forward to learn how to write a basic report, a report which runs from say 60 to 100 words, and then how they are going on camera, and then how they are going to deliver that particular report. So both the things.
Okay, so you want them to write and you want them to record both.
Yeah, write and then come on camera, and then they can reflect on camera.
So what will they be actually writing?
They are writing a specific report on a specific topic nearby. So it's on field investigation, something like that.
Okay, so you want the report written in the text format, not in the social media format.
Not in that social media format, on the standardized newspaper format, actually.
So that is why I was prodding you that what is the skill that, what is the format in which you want it? So when you say that you want a report, like a newspaper report, and then you want a video. So this is actually a newspaper type of a format, which is very different than the social media type of a format,
exactly,
where it would be a blog, right? So now this is the choice that you make, because probably you want the students to be able to write a report, not a blog. I may be wrong. I don't know why.
Exactly. They are looking forward to write a professional report for a newspaper, and that too with word constraints, ma'am. Because a newspaper space is the biggest constraint. So they have to write it in 60 to 100 words, the entire report, which is they have to go on site and then report it.
Now just see this. This is again like a very small thing that we miss out on. But so when we ask the students, I'm giving a different example. We ask the students write a letter to something. Even in the schools, we have such redundant examples like write a letter of invitation to your friend for a birthday party. My God, who's going to do that? They'll just text, right? They'll just send an SMS, right? So maybe if you want to complain about something to someone, they'd rather tweet They're not going to send all that detailed, pura, pada letter and all that, because the tweet is going to be faster. So, and you hashtag, you put proper hashtags, and the chief ministers and the prime minister office is going to take note of it. So the skill would be hashtags there. But here you are talking about the report. So if we make it very clear to the students that this is the format that we are asking for, because this is the skill we want you to learn. Many a times what students do is, because they do not know the justification behind this, they will just copy from one another, slightly modify a little bit and then submit. That will be totally avoided the moment we tell them that this is the skill that we are looking out for, because this is what your professional life is going you to need to do this. So that is just a part that all of us, whenever we give a particular choice of media, we should also share it with the students, like we share the rubrics, so that they know how they are going to be graded, why they are going to be graded. We have taught the students to ask critical question of why, always, right? Our generation used to like be very obedient, jo bhi bola sab maan liya. We only taught the students to ask questions, don't accept anything, just like that. So now when they will know, why should I write a letter? I can just send an SMS. Why should I write a letter when I can just tweet? So if that part is very clear, then you will see that there's no replication. So this is just an additional thing that came to my mind when you were talking. So thanks. And that was a very nice choice and justification. Anyone else? We can have one more and then we can go ahead. There's something in the chat. Mindfulness, climate change. Okay.
Shall I tell?
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, ma'am, I'm choosing my research topic. I think it might be helpful for each and everyone, because
it's
the
okay.
topic
I
is
mean,
the topic is
an
related
open
to
discussion.
stroke patients. My research topic is stroke patients. And basically, what I am doing here in that for the rehabilitation concern. So I'm providing the patients a rehabilitation, very important. So first topic I'm choosing nurse-led rehabilitation interventions for the stroke patient who are having some embolism and then hemorrhage in the brain. Then they suddenly on bed and then get admitted, and after that they directly discharged from the hospital to home. In that concern, we are having the two basically learning outcomes in context of the skills, in context of their routine life. First concern is their activity of daily living. Definitely it disturbed due to stroke. And second thing is their mobility, motor skills. Sometimes they become paralyzed due to stroke. In that concern, what skill to be taught to them by that, it really helped to improve their motor mobility skills, in which the technique name is mirror therapy. Most important thing. And this skill to be taught to them, and this is exercise of 5 to 10 minutes in every 30 minutes. It becomes a for 1 month.
So what will be the
process.
media that you use?
I'm telling you, the mirror therapy, the mirror box is there. Mirror box is there, and visually we are telling them by the simulation base, and application base is there.
Yes.
And another content is their activity of daily livings. And third important thing is that, ma'am, their analytical skills. Why via apps? There are some what to say, tabular forms. There are calculation via that. Ma'am, I'm not recalling the particular table. Missing the words, and some
like a crossword puzzle.
Yes, crossword puzzle. Sorry, I was just forgetting that name. Because of these media, we can improve their analytical skills, and by using the mirror therapy on simulation based, we can improve their motor mobility skills, and by improving their activity of daily living, like a positioning, because their position definitely get disturbed. And other point is their nutritional habits. Definitely it alters oral hygiene, bowel and bladder incontinences, and dressing and grooming. Because it gets affected by doing having that
Brijesh, I get you. Yeah. So so your two media that you're using here is, one is simulation, the other is a crossword puzzle. So now
Yes,
just
yes.
I would like everyone to pay attention to this, that simulation too we had discussed earlier also. Crossword puzzle was something I had in my mind when we were talking, and very nicely it has come up now. Crossword puzzle, memory retention, analytical thinking, cryptic thinking, application, definitions. So you can just have a lot of things there, and also it kind of gamifies. So it just doesn't become a mundane chore like this is like write the definition of. Nahi, aapne क्यों में दे दिया definition, and that person has to probably figure out. You may also have something like a Pictionary, so that the person actually figures it out, and that also enhances the analytical thinking. Something in the chat, let me just read this. Oh, book creator, students can create book. Yes, this is again media used, ebook creator, students will be able to make hypothesis. Now, this is exactly what we are talking here, right? So now from the place where we were talking about kya ye sab media use karna chahiye. So see, we are allowing students to become creators and not remaining as consumers. Hum log consumers think. Okay, our generation was more of consumers, less of creators. These students are more of creators, and we are going to make them more and more creators. So absolutely what you are saying is by breathing. Yeah. So Savita is saying that mindfulness by podcasts that allow them to track their breathing. Yes. So you don't need to have a video there. Video fine, but that can also work equally well with a podcast. So that's the choice that you actually make. I don't mind if you want to take a break of 5 minutes, or you may have taken it already. Also, I don't want to extend beyond the lunch time. So we still have a few.
Have 10 minutes to go, Rajita. The time is already almost over.
Yeah.
It just wind up in 10 minutes.
And then there will be question and answers, is it?
Question answer time is already over, and I think people can just post their questions on the chat box if they have any. Otherwise, I can see all the questions are being answered on the spot simultaneously. So Jagrup is asking something. So
yeah, please
go ahead, Dr. Jagrup.
Yes, ma'am. I just in our this session, there was a talk of like how technology is degrading us to a level that it is harming our creative level or critical thinking. So I just read one article in New York Times, like old article of 2011, and it was regarding that in Waldorf School of Pennsylvania, there is one school in the USA, and where these all technology giants, whether it is Apple, Google, or Facebook, these are sending their kids to a school where technology is prohibited till 8th class. So this is the thing, like when Baiju's kind of things are coming up and they are commercializing these things, up to a certain level, the exposure to the technology should be limited, and after that one can develop a kind of thinking that what is good for me, or which media I have to go to for clarification of my doubts or learning or anything. But in initial phase, like these things should be limited, or you can say totally
totally
out of.
If you actually see the national policy, the not only the NEP 2020, but even the NCF 2005, which talks about school curriculum, it is very, very clearly said that up till what age students should not be given technology. And here we are actually talking about university teachers. So this is a refresher course. So you are already dealing with adults. And the world of adults is slightly more closer to what the society is moving towards. And therefore, we cannot say that let's stop it. That's the only thing that I would say.
No, ma'am, I was just talking in the reference of underage learners or
yes, absolutely. And it's not recommended at all.
And ma'am, like, see, you are very much right that we are talking about adults and university or college students, but after 5 years or 10 years, those students who are being exposed to technology in schools now, they will be entering into colleges and universities.
Yes.
So yeah, that's the main point.
Yes, absolutely. Then there are certain things that, yeah. Yes, Sanjana ma'am.
I just wanted to say one thing here. Maybe I don't know, but I have seen that new education policy, they have emphasized the importance of a balanced and holistic approach
Yes.
in education, including the use of technology. So I don't know, but how does specifically the mentioning of an age restricted to the introduction of artificial intelligence? So, but new education policy is saying that we have to keep a balance between all these technologies and traditional teaching.
Yeah.
So on that, I'm not much aware of this fact until as Dr. Jagrup is highlighting this. But
I'll
as
just
far as my
add
knowledge goes, I find that new education policy is saying that there should be a balance between both the things.
Yeah, there should be a balance, but at the same time, I'll just give a very common thing that we all see every time, that toddlers, 2.5 years of age, parents mindlessly give them the YouTube to watch or the mobile to play a game on, and then that's treated equally as in the previous generation used to switch on the TV and the kids used to be there, so that was shant rahenge. But parents are actually forgetting one thing, that the TV was much passive. There was no choice of what you were seeing. But here, when you're giving YouTube or when you're giving a mobile in the hand of a toddler, it's not passive anymore. It's the user who's going to choose what is going to be selected. Yeah. So I think with there is a very nice article. Yes. This particular part is true. Please, I would suggest everyone to read this, because the physical development also takes place during that time, and so all that is important. Technology should not hamper the physical growth.
Yes, we will definitely read this article.
Yeah.
So,
are we like?
Are you through with your things?
Yeah, I mean, if there are no further questions or something,
Any
then we
questions,
can stop.
participants? You can just ask if you have any last minute question.
And I hope that everyone uses the actions and the sections models whenever they try to use media, multimedia, multiple media, mixed media, anything and everything, and to develop their MOOCs.
Yes. I must say, Dr. Ajita, it was an excellent session and you provided a valuable insight as far as multimedia is concerned, videos are concerned, and delivering you have delivered the content with very clarity and with full enthusiasm. But dear participants, please note that effective pedagogy and course delivery, depending upon the subject matter, learners' demographics, and learning environment. And along with that, flexibility and adaptability are also very, very essential in meeting the diverse needs of learners. And I think that will create a meaningful learning experience. And also when we are integrating multimedia into our pedagogy and course delivery, that will definitely enhance the learning experiences, but of course, in a very, very balanced manner. So we have to keep the balance between all the things. It should not be that we have just incorporated the videos or we have just incorporated the audios or just the content. So I think a little portion of everything will make our lesson more effective and students will participate more. This is just my sum up.
Okay, Sanjana ma'am, just a thing here. There are a few techniques, pedagogical techniques that can be used in MOOCs as well as online. What I'll do is I'll share the presentation with you all, and the participants can go through the presentation, and then if they have any doubts, you have my email ID. They can actually ask the queries if they have before, that typical test and things like that.
Definitely. You please share your PPT because participants
Yes.
are asking for PPT, and I will share
I
your
will
PPT
share.
with them. And if they want to ask any question, they are free to ask any question. I will share your email ID as well as.
Mamta ma'am is asking me, how was your transition from chemistry to edtech? Well, it is, I'll just quickly, in a minute, I'll tell you, because that's the story that's quite interesting, I should say. And maybe for people also, it would be. My story, I mean, my shift from chemistry to edtech happened because of my students. Okay, like I was teaching chemistry to grade 12 and the others. They told me one thing. I have a very good rapport with students always, anywhere I teach. So the students nicely told me that, ma'am, we love you, but we hate chemistry. We understand what you teach. We score well, but we don't want to take chemistry as a subject in our higher studies. And that set me thinking that, my God, what is it? So I asked, like I got hold of one person and I asked him, why are you saying this? Sab kyun ye bol rahe ho? What is the reason behind that? Kyun aisa? So they said that aapke subject mein na bahut gadbad hai. That is, you talk that atom cannot be seen, and then still you talk about what are the things inside the atom. So it's just like contradictory, isn't it? And that was the time that I realized that, okay, this was around say 2008 or something. I realized that they needed a lot of visualization. So I started using mobile games to teach chemistry. And then that's how my shift from here to here has happened. But I haven't left my core subjects. That's it, like in short. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ajita. Thank you for sharing your the story. This is quite impressive. Dr. Sunanda, over to you, please.
Thank you, ma'am. It was really indeed a very great session, and knowing this transition period of Dr. Deshmukh is really interesting, that how student can also give impact or modify their faculties, that they should take another role. It's not, she obviously will not leave the chemistry, but another leading role in a teaching education. Ma'am, thank you so much. We are really got a huge learning session from you. It was indeed a brainstorming as well as very much interactive session till now. So I am watching from last 7 days. The 8th day was much more interactive, which I found. And you started the session with students' participation, that how they understood the multimedia as a communication for learning. So that made the whole session very interactive. Also, ma'am, you explained so greatly that how to communicate effectively, but in very simple way. So everybody could understood, no matter what is the student's IQ level. Also, it gave us a clear idea of what the actually multimedia means. We had a confusion before the session what the multimedia could be, but you clearly stated that. And also the types, that was nicely explained with the function of each types. So really we learned a lot. The contents coherent and their relevance also very widely explained with your examples. So lastly but not leastly, that what we learned from your session is that combining the strength of AI, simulations, I mean, in a single word, the multimedia, and the learning curiosity, the creativity, all these skills, how it is necessary to achieve the outstanding result in a scientific way for the lecture delivering. So ma'am, thank you very much for sharing your time, your skills, your knowledge with all of us. Thank you, ma'am.
I must thank you to all the participants who are so eagerly and taking part in this particular program. Thank you to Dr. Bedya. Thank you to Dr. Syed Khan, who has never shown his face on this political platform, but asking very good questions. So we request one day when you are very well, smartly dressed, kindly show your face to us. Thank you to Dr. Tepukupar, very difficult to pronounce your name. Thank you, Dr. Jitendra Kumar, Dr. Monica, Dr. Priya Khera, Dr. Ritika, Dr. Mamta, Dr. Uma Maheshwara, Dr. Neelam Rana, Dr. Jagrup, Dr. Tanushri, so Dr. Rupali, Dr. Brijesh. So thank you to everyone for your interaction. Dr. Savita Sharma, thanks to everyone. Dr. Amrit Kumar, so nice of you. And see, they are habitual of this particular thing, that after the session, we are here to click one photograph. So everybody has opened their cameras for nice click with you. I love this particular activity every day, before the session and after the session. So, Dr. Khan, okay, again, he is not there. He has switched off his camera.
We have, ma'am, Dr. Gaurav Kumar as well.
Yes, hello, Dr. Gaurav, good to see you. So just give a smile. Dr. Khan, you are not there, and this photograph, one closed camera will not look nice in our this whole picture. So if you can open your camera, that would be great. But मुझे लगता है इन्होंने कसम खा रखी है, अपना कैमरा तो इन्होंने खोलना ही नहीं है. Anyway, let's have a good photograph. Just smile, give us good smile. Wow, lovely photograph. Lovely faces, happy faces, which is more important. We all are learners, and at the end of the day, if we keep smiling like this, it means that we have learned a lot today.
And that also on a weekend. So it's really really successful.
Thank you, Dr. Ajita, for your absolutely great wisdom which you have shared today with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for spending some time on a Saturday. I was a bit, yeah, but everyone is interactive. Thanks.
Dear participants, see you on Monday. Take rest, enjoy your Saturday, enjoy your Sunday, and fully take rest and come with the full energy on Monday at 10:10. We have a good speakers on Monday, Dr. Ramesh Kumar Sharma, who is an associate professor of Guru Gobind Singh, who is from Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University, Dr. Yashpal from Central University of Kerala, and Dr. Joshit, who is from Central University of Kerala again, and Dr. Abhishek, who is a freelancer and having lots of, and have done already so much work on MOOCs. So goodbye. Enjoy your Saturday.
We'll share the feedback link. I think it's only left.
Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.